Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Dota 2 CanadaCup Season 6 group stages. My name is Maut, and we are here with maybe the biggest game of the evening, maybe the biggest game of the tournament thus far. It is Team Leviathan versus paiN Gaming. The winner of this match will more than likely move on to the playoffs. However, there is a unique circumstance where we could see a three-way tie. Leviathan beats paiN Gaming, that will leave Leviathan 1-1. That'll leave, or not Leviathan, rather, paiN Gaming 1-1. That'll leave Leviathan 2-1. paiN Gaming would have to beat T-Show to force a three-way tie in Group B. So a lot at stake here. Leviathan could, of course, try to punch their ticket by beating paiN, then paiN losing, or paiN could win, and then it all doesn't matter, and paiN moves on, and that'll be it anyway. So very interesting stuff coming out, of course. We'll jump into the draft now. We'll get underway into the group stages, into this Group B match between Leviathan and paiN Gaming. As always, presented by moonducktv. Make sure you check us out at twitch.tv/moonducktv and twitter.com/moonducktv as well. My name is Maut. Joining me today is Maut Packs on Stats. We've got Pit Muckle doing observing and production. And we've got Purge, the Californian, doing the analysis. What's up, buddy?
The sun melts my brain and prevents me from doing my job, so I'm sorry that I'm not up to par, as I was when I lived in the cold, harsh earth of Wisconsin.
I found that as well, that every time I go into California, I just seem to be, worse at casting, worse at talking. And, upstate New York, it's a bit dreary, it's a bit dark, but it's nice sometimes, occasionally.
That makes a lot of sense. So much sense.
Does it really, or are you just saying that?
Mostly just saying that, but
That's
I mean
what I thought.
that is my job, isn't it?
Well, you don't have to be.
Just saying
Damn,
things.
dude, you don't have to go that. Wow, okay, we're getting real negative here. Let's talk about the draft first. Let's talk about this game. Let's talk about how important it is.
Nothing has happened in the draft yet, Matt. Literally nothing.
There's been bans. Bans have
They're
happened.
all complete. Okay, gyro ban is actually out of nowhere. But Demon did play an amazing gyro last game. You join a team for one game, and all of a sudden you get first round banned. Like that's just gonna fuel his ego, man. This isn't good.
Yeah,
this is a bad thing.
Demon's feeling himself right now. He's swagging out. He's like, yeah, I'm the best. Is probably what he's saying. Smirking, that Demon smirk. And they'll first pick Queen of paiN afterwards. He's pretty happy.
Speaking of first pick Queen of paiN in CanadaCup, yesterday we saw Queen of paiN Blink Dagger.
We did see that.
Will today be the second time?
No.
Demon's in the game?
It won't be. What, is Demon notorious for having like a blink WAP build?
He was the first to do it. You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
What? You're out
Is
of
that
it, man.
actually really? Is that true? Or are you
Yes.
just
Are
lying?
you serious?
Who
People
did he
flame
play
Demon.
for?
It was on EG or something. People flame Demon for that all the time.
A good old
like,
EG
yeah.
throw.
Like
Wow.
Demon is a very good player, but that is like, and I'm not like flaming him for buying Blink Dagger on Co-op that one time or anything. But it's like it's
You
a thing.
totally are flaming him for buying.
No, I'm
Blink
just
Dagger.
like bringing up the coincidence that it happened in the past
Okay.
and it also happened yesterday. And Demon's now here and they have a Queen of paiN, and maybe it'll happen.
Well, I'm
Probably
glad.
not,
I'm glad I was enlightened because I don't think anybody else might have known, or a couple people might have known in chat, but now they know as well, and they've considered themselves enlightened. So
Oh, there is no way. You are in the minority here, man.
I must be.
Everybody knows.
I must be. I know a lot of crazy stuff that's happened in the past of Dota 2 history, and that was not one of those things that I knew. But
Okay.
well, now you know. I mean, that seems like something Demon would do. I mean, this is the guy that goes Refresher Orb on Batrider, which is definitely not an awful thing. Like he's
That's
actually
not
won
even-
so many
well,
games with it.
Depends
Like,
when
really
you buy
good.
it. Sounds okay.
Yeah, it's got to be like your late game items is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there. That's fine.
Yeah. He's done some
Refresher
good
is
things.
situational on every hero in some ways.
That's true. The very, I guess.
Sometimes you're
looking
playing
at it.
Skywrath Mage and you just need to Arcane Bolt twice within 1 second, you know? Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go with that. That's a slaughter being picked up for Leviathan again with Jenkins on the off lane. Darkseer being picked up for paiN Gaming here, and I will say Unknown pretty much threw that game yesterday, but it wasn't like paiN were playing particularly badly. You know,
Yeah.
they played well. They played very well. In fact, Pico had an amazing game on Tusk.
Yeah, he played really well. And paiN did, like you said, they played very well, but it definitely seemed like some throw coming out of the opposite team than anything else. But with that said, paiN looked pretty, maybe not inadequate last game, but Leviathan clearly, I feel like I wouldn't necessarily call it super outplayed. I think Demon outplayed really hard that game, but that game felt more out-strategized to me. Like their lanes beat everything that paiN had. They had some ganks here and there. They did well in laning, and they responded to the ganks and pressure that paiN tried to do. But it was always a couple mistakes out of paiN that led to Leviathan continuing to get more and more of a lead. Like paiN had some good advantages in team fights. Like they had that one fight where they were far behind by the Roche pit, and I'm sorry, I'm mixing the teams up. Excuse me. But Leviathan seems like they're looking pretty solid right now, in my opinion, and I think they can definitely win this game.
Yeah, I definitely give them the advantage here, but and that's what makes it more interesting too, because then we get the last game between paiN Gaming and Tisha meaning something. paiN Gaming would have to win to force that three-way tie, and that's what we want to see. We want to see these tiebreakers, which are common in CanadaCup. It's something we want to actually get to. But we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case. As Darkseer's been picked up, they banned a couple extra heroes in the Ember Spirit as well as the Lich. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing really that crazy right now. I mean, they have the Darkseer Winter Wyvern combo, which is kind of hit or miss. It's been picked a lot in this tournament. It's been picked at least 3 times. And Demon's Avatar, him in Fear? It definitely is.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, Winter Wyvern Darkseer is not seen, like, during the Frankfurt Major, it seemed like it was a really good thing because you can vacuum into the ultimate. But I think the synergy past that is not very deep, and even that synergy is not the most amazing thing ever. It doesn't happen that often. Teams are getting better and better about spacing themselves on team fights to prevent getting caught in those kind of ultimates. So I don't really like that synergy that much. I prefer Darkseer synergies that combo him with things like melee cores, like Ember Spirit or Gyrocopters, things that are already going to be in melee range and chasing after their opponents and can get some extra damage that way. So for now, I don't read that much into what paiN Gaming has. The most important thing is that they have a Darkseer in the offlane, which means that Team Leviathan's going to have to draft around having to worry about Iron Shell in the laning stage, which may just force them to put Queen of paiN in the safe lane, which is something that works for a lot of teams. So yeah. I think Leviathan's pretty happy with this opening. They've got success with Slardar. They won't have a Lich this time, so maybe their offlane won't be as strong. Very clear that paiN Gaming watched the previous game, so we'll see if they can adjust to these bans and still have a great game.
And it's not like that, you know, if they don't put Queen of paiN mid, they're gonna have a tough matchup there. You know, Queen of paiN can go safe lane. There's still a lot of heroes to pick up. They banned out the most annoying ones that they didn't want to deal with. TA obviously had a great time. That's not something that they were expecting. However, that's not something I was expecting. And out comes that for paiN Gaming, and now you have to wonder, well, where do you play this? You play it mid. Well, it's gonna be annoying, but the safe lane Alchemist, which we saw yesterday from Unknown, actually had the most success in the tournament thus far with the early Armlet build into the Maelstrom, which followed up into the, what was it, Blink Dagger, which followed into an SNY, which followed into, I guess, a BKB at this point. I can't even remember. It's hard to remember. So
10 seconds remaining.
But I'm not sure if I like Alchemist here too much, though.
5 seconds remaining.
It's like the same three picks
okay.
we've seen for like a couple of teams. Like this is the same 3 opening picks. It's like the Vacuum Wall into Wyvern ult into Unstable Concoction, and then the Alk right-clicking you to death, or at least trying to.
I just feel like we haven't seen that much Vacuum into Alk stun. I don't know why. Like, it's... Maybe they don't see the Vacuum opportunities, but I feel like you can catch at least 3 people in that, in most cases, and that's like a 4-second stun. It's more limited maybe on the Darkseer Blink than it is on the Alchemist, but... That's the big synergy that I see out of it. Like, I don't see a... I guess Iron Shell plus Alk is really good in the early game because he's very tanky, at least for regen aspect. So maybe if he goes more of a stat build like you were talking about, then the Iron Shell will get a lot of value. But well, with Slardar and Jug, though, if they just amp damage, like Omni Slash is going to wreck anybody.
It's going to kill him. It's going to kill him.
Yeah, Leviathan is like really synergizing their drafts very well. Last game they had Slardar, Jug... Or sorry, Slardar, they had Visage, and Gyrocopter, maybe the Gyro... And Wind Ranger, like they had 3 heroes. If you have like 3 heroes that synergize really well with Slardar ulti, then you're in a good place. In a lot of cases, it just
you can still pick Wind Ranger here. It might even be too much, but you definitely could if you wanted to. Maybe you want a more team fight potentially.
Yeah, I kind of like it versus Alchemist actually, because very often he doesn't build MKB, and a lot of these other heroes, like look at their damage right now. paiN Gaming, where the hell is their damage coming from?
Iron Shell. That's it.
On their one melee hero, like where the hell is their damage coming from?
They don't have any.
Mostly defensive supports. They've got a Darkseer who's got damage, but it's not massive. It's like good in the early game, but in the late game, it's pretty much comes down to Vacuum and Wall of Replica, and that's basically all they've got right now. I guess they can do Vacuum Shadow Wave combos, which might do a lot of damage, and they've got minus armor from Alchemist and minus armor from Dazzle, but
they need a good fit pick here.
Yeah, they have great team fight maybe, but that's about it right now. I don't like their lineup.
I agree.
It's very purple. That's cool, but
It's very color coordinated. Winter Wyvern's kind of an outcast. It's like the albino pick of the draft here. Leviathan will grab the Undying. Oh god.
there's some light touches of purple in Winter Wyvern's color palette. You can see. Look at his icons. That's the most clear cut way.
He's definitely still ostracized though for not being the exact color of paiN Gaming Slot. Everyone else is like, "What are you doing, man?
Yeah, he's gonna feel left out.
You're ruining it for everyone."
10 seconds.
Undying gives Leviathan another great hero that they can lane with the slaughter. It's not going to be as clear cut as denying and sacrificing, but they can punish a lot of cores. Now, Dazzle with Wyvern together, I feel like are fairly difficult to kill because whichever one's in trouble can be backed up by the other support, and they're both ranged heroes, so they're pretty happy there. And also Winter Wyvern with Arctic Burn, a lot of times you can just use it to kill a tombstone from long range. That's cool, but I just am not feeling very good about paiN Gaming.
If they go to pull, dude, they're gonna be in a rough spot. That's like a hero out of lane for like 10 seconds. It's more than enough time to run up, Slithering Crush, drop a tombstone down, and get a couple of double decays off. I mean, if you're close enough to get like a triple decay too, oh god, God forbid that even happens.
It's definitely looking a little scary.
The team fight that you talk about for paiN Gaming is there, but the team for Leviathan synergizes even better. Their frontline tanker of the Undying and Slaughter are there. They have the Jug to build into a late game damage, the Quap to destroy earlier on in the game. I just think it looks better for Leviathan, at least right now.
Yeah. The only thing Leviathan's really lacking is some range setup. Again, they're very reliant on their Blink Dagger, as they were last game. Quap can initiate, I guess, is one thing, but you don't always want to go in with Quap first. Undying doesn't have the best disables. They need some way to start a fight, in my opinion. Whether that's like a Vengeful... I would like Vengeful Spirit, I think. That's my call.
Okay.
Venge would be good. You can swap into stun. You can save allies that are in trouble. You've got Wave of Terror, which would synergize with Slardar and Juggernaut. Also with the Undying zombies a little bit. And just having that reliable disable of the Magic Missile is going to make Leviathan's job a lot easier in long drawn-out teamfights.
They could go AA and make the Dazzle and Alchemist's life miserable, but then you don't have that range initiation. Banned. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Otherwise, I would have said yes, but notice it's still weak on disable.
All right, this is the pick that I think is going to change things for paiN. I like this pick a lot, actually. This Quaswix Invoker coming out. If it's Quas Exhort, I disagree completely. If it's Quaswix, I'm totally fine with it.
Well, Exhort would give them Forge Spirits, which is minus armor to stack with Alchemist, so that's a little bit of value, but I'm guessing they're going to go for the safe lane Alchemist this game, Invoker mid versus Quap or whatever. That would make more sense because they don't really have like a... You don't want to put an Invoker in a tri-lane or a dual lane because he gets less levels, and levels are so important for the hero. Plus, if you go Exhort, then your Sunstrikes are higher level if you're in the mid lane. So I think it's pretty clear it'll be Invoker mid, maybe a Wyvern zoning the other mid hero, and then Dazzle supporting Alchemist against the Undying and the Jug. But that's still pretty scary for Alchemist in the early game.
Wow.
Night Stalker is another good solution, gives him good vision, and it gives them a very low cooldown to disable that'll help set them up for the other spells.
Jenkins Undying, it's going to be offlane. New ship in 4 position. Slaughter, is that going to be a safe lane? No. Okay, so Zebra support Night Stalker, mid lane Quap, and then support Slardar. So you have 2 melee supports with a Quap mid, Juggernaut in the safe lane, and Undying in the off lane is what it's looking like.
Buy a Vlad's, man. This is a Vlad's game. No,
yeah, this is definitely...
I mean, actually, it is. There's a lot of physical damage from paiN, so Vlad's is not bad. But they're going to go for winning their lanes and then transitioning into map control and taking Roche. Very similar to what they did last game. We'll see if paiN can stand up.
Don't buy the Vlads on Demon, I don't think, but yeah.
A lot of Jugs have been rushing Vlad's similar builds, but on Jug lately, but I don't think it's good. I don't think I've ever seen them win with it.
I think Demon is going to go for the item build that we've seen so often, which is the good old, like, 4-man shield, Battle Fury, maybe even add a Ring of Aquila to get regen and extra damage in there. I mean, that's fine. I like the TP coming out early from Tavo. He's going to go ahead and get his ward up. They also TP'd down Jenkins to get his ward up, but guess who also TP'd down? C4T, who's got his own ward. Jenkins is going to see this, and he's going to hold off on the ward. Instead, he's going to get zone health, throw a decay out, and try to chase C4T down. And C4T is going to lose this trade in terms of just raw damage.
Yeah, Undying's very strong. He knows he has a couple more hits here before he has to run.
He's going to decay again.
Might be able to kill him.
He could almost kill him in this instance. And he's got no regen. He's going to heal himself. And Jenkins is like, I could decay you again. Arctic Burp, but Petito runs in as well. He's got the Exhort. He went Exhort. Jenkins in trouble. Maybe he's very tanky, however. He's going to decay again. This time, I think it got into 2 with Pico and C4T. He doesn't have his salve, however, which is very scary. Nushim is nearby. It's a very interesting start to this game already.
They gave him back on Observer as well, so you could place this right now. See if he does.
Where's he going to put it? Did he wait? He dropped that, right? He dropped the Observer. Jenkins had... No, there it is. That's the Sentry. Where's the
Okay,
observer ward? He
I
gave
like
it to
that play.
Nushim. Nushim has the observer ward.
Nushim just ran at them so that they would back up, so that they would have leave to place the sentry or the observer in a secret place. That's basically it.
Okay, I like that spot. That's a really good spot.
Yeah, it's a double block.
Iron
One on the
Shield,
left, one on the right.
Demon and Zebra are going to go to 40R. They really want to deny this. Blade Fury will go. Did they get it? Demon does get the Rune. They deny it from 40R, and Tavo taking a lot of damage, but Zebra will probably be your first blood. Arctic going. No, there's the Void. He doesn't have Surge. Tavo's in trouble, actually. Right click down. There it goes. Demon will get the last hit. Flying Zebra, baiting it out long enough with the early Void, and that's a first blood going the way of the Juggernaut and Leviathan.
They played that great. Just baited him out long enough, got him out of there. Tavo immediately TPs to lane. He actually doesn't have a clarity push or anything like that, so he could get a bit zoned here. But the creep wave will push. And Demon actually doesn't have spin yet, so he can't deal with this Iron Shell right now.
Now, this is really annoying for him. So Demon will secure the first blood, I believe, but that doesn't really mean much when... I mean, it'll come towards the tower, the Iron Shell will stop. Tavo has his own Iron Shell. He can Iron Shell creep as well and just make it even more annoying.
Oh, they're diving mid.
Mid lane, they're going to be in
courier?
trouble. Zebra cannot find the kill, but 40R will fall to the Shadow Strike. No tag going up. Shibby can't get the kill, and now he's going to fall to the tower and the right click. One more will do the job. He's got Blink in 3. The range creep doing some work. Shibby actually could go to the high ground. Might just deny himself instead. He'll do just that. But 40R's regen with the tango. Unbelievable. Somehow stays alive.
It's communication error, basically. He saw the courier, he went for the one right click on it, didn't get the second, and he could have put that right click on Alk, so he got a little too greedy there. He wanted both, but he should have just gone for the Alk.
Alright. 4 last hits for Demon out of the top lane. Some early aggression into the mid lane. 40R zoned out. He has to buy Salvo to get ferried out, and there was going to be another courier. I think it was, maybe it went around this direction just to make sure that it stayed alive. I don't think it was going towards bottom. There's nothing that Pepita could actually need, and Pepita goes for the Wex Exhort so far. We'll get a point in Alacrity, and then we'll probably maybe continue on to the Quas Wex, but I actually like this pickup. The Invoker can stop any aggression coming out from Jenkins as well as Dushim on the Slaughter as well as Jenkinson dying. I think this is an okay lane assignment here.
It's actually letting Nushim farm here. A little interesting. I would have thought that they would just swap heroes if they were going to let Jenkins be the support in the offlane. But maybe they're just allowing him to get boots first. That might also be a possibility. He also has more regen on his hero. So he's basically has the items and he's farming like an offlane hero. But he is their typical 4 player. So maybe he's going to let him get boots and then he's going to play 4. Because I kind of like that as well. Because then it allows him to leverage his roaming a lot better. Plus with having all this regen. So maybe that's their goal. We'll see.
I think that's fine. I think getting boots to Slaughter is completely 100% okay. And then Jenkins... The problem is just who does more with farm? Obviously, the Aghanim Scepter upgrade to Undying is pretty fantastic, but Ushim getting the early blink is pretty crucial as well. So I mean, and even, I guess Jenkins could just farm up the mech too. I think, obviously, he's not going to go straight Ags. There's a good chance he goes like Crimson Guard or mech or something first before he gets the Aghanim Scepter, but I don't know. It's a bit too early to tell. Obviously, in position-wise, Jenkins is the 3 player, and Nushim is the 4 or 5. So, I don't know. I don't know who's going to be picking up what. Darkster's having lag issues. That's all I know. We're going to have to wait for a while. Oh, no, he's back. It's fine.
Okay. So for now, Zero's at level 2. He did lose a lot of his regen in that first couple battle. His large camp is blocked, so that's a little bit unfortunate for him. It's going to be a little hard for him to catch up at this point. That despite those early kills, like Darkseer's already level 3, so zoning Darkseer from here on out isn't really going to happen, so that should guarantee a fast mech coming out of paiN.
Well, we still have some lag issues coming up from the Darkseer. They actually have the creep camp is getting pulled, actually. Does this entry block it?
Yeah, it does. It's a little bit south. I guess Flying Zebra put that one down. It definitely blocks it, though, but he probably did it on purpose, to be honest. Because blocking the large camp is better when you're against a Darkseer, because you can't really zone the hero very well. So if you just block their large camp, then that means that the 1v1 matchup is pretty straightforward, and the carry doesn't have to worry about the offlaner pulling into the side camp. So,
I mean, that's the biggest thing on Radiant's side.
Yeah.
That's really the most unfair advantage of Radiant's side offlane, is just that you have that pull camp to work with. You don't have the same pull camp for Leviathan on Dire's side.
Yeah, Dire has some advantages in their jungle as well, though. You can double stack the medium and large camp pretty easily. You're closer to ancient stacking in the offlane. You can Rosh a little easier. There's a couple other advantages, but I believe Radiant has more advantages at the moment. It's easier to mid pull as well on Radiant, I believe.
Well, good is called. We're getting back into the game finally. All right, we'll see what happens. Can they gank out? He actually is level 3. Tavo can't gank yet. Even with the Void, they need to silence. And they'll actually silence him. Now the Blade Fury, they will be able to kill him. Tavo shouldn't fall here. He'll surge himself away, but just doesn't get out in time. Good
That's a
point,
huge
silence. That silence is huge.
Yeah, very rare at level 2 for Night Stalker to have silence. Usually they put it off much later, but I like that he saw that opportunity. If I silence him, he can't surge for 3 seconds, and the Blade Fury damage becomes extreme.
I really like that lane. I really like that lane a lot, actually. That Archer, or not that Archer, the Night Stalker Juggernaut lane. I think that's fine. You get the good old soul lucky city with a Venomancer, and you have a silence on top of it. It's the best of both worlds. All right. 9 last hits coming out for Shibby. He's tied with 40R. 40R not getting that bounty rune, but he will get more farm just by proxy of the fact that he's an alchemist who will have his bottle soon. Shibby will also have his bottle flying out as we speak, or would be if Zebra was not using the courier, which I'm sure Shibby's not very happy about. It's actually Demon who's getting the Wraith Band as well as a set of tangos. It's like, I need this Aquila. It's very important.
It's actually pretty important for him. I guess he already had the Basilius, so the mana portions aren't a big deal, but if you're up against a Darkseer, having extra healing wards is a big deal, and having extra regens is really important. 13th time.
That just shows you how, like, little this is used.
Yeah, a lot of times I feel like Crippling Fear isn't taken enough by support Night Stalkers. A lot of times they'll delay it until like level 8 or something. But pre-6, I feel like it's too valuable to pass up. It's 50% miss chance at night. 5 seconds silence is so valuable.
Yeah, it's huge.
Like, would you ever see a Skywrath Mage not get that skill point? You know?
No, that's
obviously
like,
it amps their damage, but still.
It's an important part of that hero. They're gonna go for the silence again, but I don't know if they're gonna get Tabo this time. He's gonna surge away, and he will get out just in time. Demon was not quite in position for the Blade Fury, but this is going to force a lot of regen. In fact, he's going to have to go home. Tabo only has the Soul Ring. That's not nearly enough for him to stay alive or stay at least in lane. Lacrid is going to go. They drop the Tombstone down. They'll deny it, or at least try to. The Invoker only has 9 last hits. Nushin has 10. The Undying has 4. So this lane's not going that great.
I feel like they should be zoning the Invoker a bit more, but it's difficult. Like, Undying doesn't have boots yet, he doesn't have Minerva Venom, he's limited on regen. It's difficult for them to pressure him. You see Alacrity up?
Yeah, this is the build. He's got 1 point in each of the abilities, Quas, Wex, and Exhort, and he has the Alacrity, which gives him that extra damage you can see right now. It actually stopped off, but he's at 58 plus 12 with his full Exhort. I'm not sure what he's at with Alacrity. Gets the extra attack speed as well.
Gives him 30 damage 42. When he activates it.
Oh my lord. At 30 damage, that's pretty huge.
It's only 45 mana as well, so if you think about getting like 2 or 3 last hits out of it, it's pretty comparable to casting a spell to get a last hit. So
they've said, Demon, you are okay alone right now. You have 27 last hits. There's no regen on table. He just got a set of tangos. He's actually stuck in the tree line because I'm pretty sure Demon got a full Blade Fury on him. They're pinging him out. Tavo's like, I need freaking help, guys. Rotate up here immediately. Pico's gonna go. And now, bottom lane, they're gonna find the Invoker. Pepita in trouble. They drop the Tombstone. He'll stick up. He'll Ghost Walk. They don't have vision. Wow.
That's okay. He got value out of his weird build, the 1-1-1 build. They saw him use Alacrity. Of course, he was going to eventually get Quas, but oh, they spot the Dazzle.
They want C4T. He has Grave though. There's the silence, and it's nighttime by the way. So for 5 seconds, C4T does not have Grave. He does get it now, but he doesn't get it off. Because the silence wore off. But it's still a kill. They wanted the Invoker, obviously. Alk in trouble now, getting caught out. Oh shit, he just finds a blow health. Jumps in against the scream. Hello, how are you? Let me take your stack while I'm at it. Arctic Bird, sure, you can have that, but I have Sonic Wave. Pico, Sonic Wave. They need one more right click. Shibby can't find it, he's out of mana. And he'll get healed up as well. Grave is there. He'll be able to get out. Darkseer died top while it was all happening. I'm sorry, I should have caught that, but...
Why can't you have 6 eyes, Maut?
You know, sometimes I wonder that. So I wonder that myself. I just,
Did you hear my 4 eyes joke?
I heard it.
That's like a 1940s joke.
That's like a I'm in fucking 5th grade kind of joke right there, Purge.
I just thought it was funny. I probably hear that shit all the time.
I actually don't.
Okay, I don't feel
14
bad
getting
then.
caught. Void coming through. Silence was not available. The mana was not there for the Night Stalker. So Zebra, if he gets level 4 after this first night, he's already got 3 assists. He's doing really well despite not having the most experience in the world. This is a great Night Stalker game so far for Zebra at this point. He's going to find another hero. He's going to find C4T. He doesn't have the mana for a silence, but he's just going to force it to the grave anyways. There it is.
He can actually kill
he
him.
could kill him. He can still kill him easily. Grave will run out right now. Stick up, and the right click is more than enough. I thought he might have needed 2, but he ends up only taking 2 tower hits. Throws the ward down. I'm not sure if they noticed they had wards on him. Oh god, this
big
lineup
ward.
for paiN is just not functioning at any level, with the exception of the Alchemist.
Yeah, Leviathan's playing really good. Flying Zebra's getting all the value out of his hero that he needs to, basically. He's pressuring the off lane, he's pressuring Alchemist. They put the ward down there, that's a very common place for Radiant mid heroes to farm, like Shadowfiend and Alchemist, and the pressure, it's just so hard for them to stay alive now.
Wardiar gets his Chemical Rage off. Will they go for this kill? They have the Void. They're actually going to get a bottle charge to Zebra, but they're not really... They don't want to deal with the Chemical Rage. Top lane, Arctic Bird's going to go. Demon in trouble. He's got the Blade Fury. He needs to use it. He will. He'll just TP out. Smart play. I like it.
Very safe. And going similar build as he did last game. Tread, Strum, Aquila. Every single game. Both heroes very similar, but the HP and stats and the mana pool that it gives you is very good.
Oh, they saw the ward. Oh, Tavo silenced up. He gets voided as well. Good Cold Embrace. Sonic Wave not there. They've got Scream in 3. They even have Grave up as well if they need it. C4T providing extra backup. They definitely saw this ward get put down. It's not in range of the tower, but they could certainly sentry it. They did ping it out. They pinged it out like 3 times. The Winter Wyvern did anyway. And it is daytime now. Now they can maybe at least be a little safe. A little more safe anyway on the side of paiN Gaming.
Invis rune up for Shibby though, so he could go look for some kills on this one. Maybe you walk behind the tier 1 tower top. Instead he wants a Alchemist setup. There's the spin.
Sonic Wave,
oh,
does he have
so
it?
Dead.
There it is. He's holding on to it for a bit longer than I thought he was going to, but... Nice kill. Good Blade Fury from Demon, and then the Sonic Wave comes out with the Invis Shibby. He's going to be going for Orchid. Drum should be done for Demon now. In fact, it is. So
Demon's
stats-
just rotating so good, man.
Yeah, he's playing very well. I bet Leviathan are like, can we sign this guy full time? Because we'd be really good if that was the case.
I mean, maybe these teams aren't the best to gauge him by, but he's playing his lanes very correctly. He's shifting around the map. Like I think that's one of the most important things that a lot of top carries do right now, is they take their gold advantage that they get from their safe lane and they transition into ganking other lanes and then go back to farming. And just doing that once in a while to get value out of your cooldowns is really important, and it makes your opponents more on their toes and makes them less able to play correctly.
And this is, I think, when people play Dota, they often think as the safe lane farmer as someone that's not supposed to rotate, just sit, farm, get items. But with the early build, the Drum in particular, the Phase, the Aquila coming out, or the Treads rather, this is meant to farm, or not farm, this is meant to fight. This is meant to get involved early on, meant to get rotations and get kills. This is the same thing with the Gyrocopter with his early level 6. I mean, Jug and Gyro function in a similar way, that they both have team fighting abilities that help them net kills at level 6 early on into the game, and they've done a good job of it so far. And they're even going to find Pico here, more than likely. He does have the Cold Embrace, the Blade Fury will go, but he'll take extra damage. The Silence is not going to get used up, and Demon will probably find this kill. He'll Arctic Burn away.
Ugh, Demon making a mistake here.
He actually could have gotten that kill. The TP will come out, and Demon can't find it. Yeah, he could have Omnislash there, and it would have gotten the kill, but...
I was thinking the same thing as him as soon as the Cold Embrace is like, he's so low, do I really need to waste Omni? But as soon as a Winter Wyvern gets over the trees, there's no way you're going to kill him if the trees are that deep. So he easily gets away, and he just showed Omnislash for it.
Yep. So Aquila's missed out on, and that could come back to bite him. But for now, I mean, really they're worried about 40R, who is going for the good old Solar Crest into whatever build. I mean, there's multiple options. We've seen Silver Edge, we've seen SNY, I believe, after the Solar Crest. I like the idea. There's a lot of team fighting that's going to be happening earlier. The real issue is, what is Pepita got? And he is nothing. No phase. He finally picks them up now as the courier delivers to them at 1043. And a Null Talisman plus a wand. That's all he has. On the other side, what does the Slaughter or Undying have? Undying still sitting at level 7 with nothing really in the bank. The Slaughter has Treads and 1300, and this is an offlane Slaughter. And they split experience and gold a little bit, so... Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just, the farm's just not there for Pepita at this point.
Leviathan's just been getting really good value out of their dual offlanes in both of the games. I don't know why they got so much, but maybe it's because it's an Invoker in the safe lane against a dual lane. Like, you can't deal with that very well. And he went Quas and Wex before he even got skill points, so he wasn't even he couldn't do anything as a hero except for some right-clicking and some really weak movement speed until level 3. And I just think that's not how you can play Invoker right now. It would have been better to maybe play Alchemist in the safe lane, get him a bounty rune, transition him rapidly into like power treads, get some stun levels, and then you can maybe start killing some heroes. But Invoker is like, he's like a worse version of Alchemist in the safe lane if you delay Invoke till level 3, you know?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I don't know. There wasn't much of an option for paiN at this point. I mean, whatever they did is not going to work out. 40R is going to get spotted out. Shippy was looking to jump in. They actually won't go for this engagement because they noticed that C14 and Pete are nearby. Not that they have an observer ward, but they feel as if something is close by and they don't want to have to deal with it. And it wasn't even nighttime
that was a
either.
hard kill. The smoke broke as they went to the high ground, so Alchemist immediately turns. They lose their moment of opportunity and they'll maybe take the tier 1 tower instead.
40R top lane. Demon could go for an Omni Slash. He's going to do just that, but the Chemical Rage will get out, and 40R is actually just going to be completely okay. Demon's like, I thought I was going to do more damage than that. 40R
I mean, it
is
was a
actually
level
tanky.
2 Omni, but he's got a Solar Crest, basically.
Right, exactly. Blade Fury jump in. Uh-oh, 40R in trouble. They've got the Sonic Wave. They'll pop it off, and the right click with the double damage room from Shippy. That's an easy kill.
Okay, and that got value out of the Omni Slash, because I don't think he was full HP by the time that started, so
Yep.
it all works out. I
does.
do like this early drum pickup on Jug, though. It's kind of like a cheaper version of the Mask of Madness. Gives movement speed. When you activate it now, it gives you 25% attack speed, rather than just the previous, like, 10 or whatever it gave. So it actually makes you attack quite a bit faster, and then it gives you more value out of Omni Slash.
Cold Snap will go. He'll take it off with the Blade Fury. Pepita popped his Alacrity off. He actually picks up an Urn, which I think is a great choice. Tier 1 tower, nonetheless, has been taken down in that top lane, and paiN Gaming are starting to lose footing here. Across the map, there's a couple of really great deep observer wards from Leviathan. There's a mech that has been finished up for Tavo, so despite his early troubles, he's actually doing just fine for himself. Mid lane, Pico about to get jumped on here, as nearby is Flying Zebra. It's nighttime, level 3 Void, so a lot of damage from that. Level 4, at early on into the game, will melt supports, even at level 6, and about to get dove looks like what's going to happen here. Actually, 40R rotates in, and they're going to decide against it. Flying Zebra says no. Nushim's nearby. He does have his Blink, by the way. Blink Nushim Slardar is ready to go. But for now, they'll back away, and then we'll go for this tier 1 tower mid instead. They'll say, Demon, go back top. Nushim, go bottom. Let's find some areas to farm.
Yeah, they're basically just poking around the map. They put a core in each lane. They're all farming efficiently, and once in a while, they'll rotate and go to a different lane to set up a kill, and the supports will move around freely, basically. And this allows them, they maybe won't be as fast in getting all of their towers, but it pressures paiN Gaming a lot more, because they know that their cores aren't as strong in those 1v1 matchups. So, because Leviathan can exploit that, they're getting way more out of the map than paiN is.
And you can see already, Nushim was about to take his tier 1 tower. Zebra did a good job pulling. Top lane was getting pushed for a moment there, but now there's a push coming out mid tier 1, 40R. Getting Alacrity up. There's the Tombstone coming down. The Decay only hits on a one good Tombstone, but jump in. There's the Slithering Crush. They also get the amp damage off. Omni Slash about to go through, and it will. On the table, pops the mech. There's the Blade Fury well. Back to the main fight. 40R is still getting chased down. No kills yet. Pepita getting low. Last right click. Doesn't do the job. He gets out just in time. The zombies will get the right click, it looks like, to get the kill. No, Demon. Demon will do the job. He's dominating. Shimmy blinked in. Couldn't find it. 40R's Chemical Rage is up. On the other side, the Wyvern gets blown up by Nushim. Dominating spree for Demon in the meantime while this is all happening. 2 dead. Jump in. Sonic Wave. Looking for 40R. They get the kill. Shibby with the Sonic Wave and the Scream of Pain. Now will pick up his full Orchid of Malevolence. And they'll get a tier 1 on top of it as well.
Man, Leviathan looks so good in these games. They're just completely outplaying paiN Gaming. They're killing him everywhere, man. Every single kill, they're snagging it just in time. Like, the Omni Slash did a ton of damage. Like, Invoker basically just has to run away. That's all they can accomplish. And after that team fight, now they get the easiest rush ever.
There we go. Shadow Strike to break it, and there's going to be the amp damage. The Orchid pops up as well. The Void will come out. The Silence just to make sure they can miss a little bit, but...
Does that remind you of Dire Tide?
What? Roche? Being taken this quickly?
A Roche being Orchided.
Yeah, kind
It
of.
reminds me of Dire Tide, okay?
Yeah. God, I barely remember that game, actually, which is surprising considering... I didn't even play it that much, I guess, but...
Yeah, nobody really did.
Dude, the people that try to spam and get the, what was it, the Golden Baby Roshans, oh man, they exploited the hell out of that game. Like, the Chinese players, I think, like, IG did it for a while.
Yeah. It was fun.
It was alright.
So,
I didn't mind it that much.
SNY and Juggernaut with Drum and Aqua. Basically, exact same build as he went on the Gyro.
Cold
I think it's
Snap,
okay.
is that?
I think, honestly, I think this build that Demon is doing is better than the Battle Fury one. It makes you way stronger earlier. You don't have as much HP loss, you have way more attack speed. Maybe you can't, like, auto-attack down creeps rapidly, but you're so much stronger in early team fights. Battle Fury is only good after the, like, I don't know, if it gets you an extra item. It's kind of like a Midas in a lot of ways. And the mana regen is good too, I guess. But you have Aqua that kind of covers that, and you've got Healing Ward which covers your HP. I just think this build is much better.
Reds, Drum, S, and Y. The early team fight potential at this point for Leviathan, pretty damn solid. The mech, the vacuum wall, something that they do have to deal with. The chemical rage for 40R, plus the solar crest, actually. I mean, there's a couple of items here. There's a couple of heroes that do provide a bit for paiN Gaming. But the rest of them are just too damn squishy. I think the biggest issue is paiN's just not providing anything. This Invoker I thought was going to go mid, get Quas Wex, and even if he didn't get farm, he was still going to have decent levels. And he really didn't get levels at all down in that bottom lane. I mean, he's level 8 now, so...
And they haven't even tried to gank anything, and I think that's because they have weak supports. Like, how could they gank a Juggernaut right now? They'd have to, like, Winter's Curse into Alk Stun and kill him during that, but they don't have any burst damage. They don't have any gank heroes. Like, they didn't have the laning because they had an Invoker in the safe lane. They just completely screwed themselves by laning this way. I really feel like they should put Invoker mid and put Alk in the safe lane. It would have been like their only solution, because they needed to get advantage out of their safe lane and transition that into ganks, like ganking Alk or something.
This is a 12k net worth advantage for Leviathan at 17 minutes into the game. Just to see how desperate they are to actually find something in. 40R is like, if you give me 10 more minutes, I might be able to come out and be a big man. But he's still actually... This is one of the few times where an Alchemist has done an okay job farming and still is not the top in net worth. In fact, that's Demon. By about almost 2k.
And that's mostly just because Demon hasn't died yet, and he's gotten kills, while also farming rapidly, so... That Quelling Blade value, man. Just need some stats of Quelling Blade, and you can farm just as fast as the Battle Fury.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Another big thing that's often overlooked is his movement speed right now. He runs at 429 all the time. And that gets him from camp to camp faster, so even if he did have a Battle Fury, he's going to be able to go from his neutral camp to the next neutral camp more rapidly than another Juggernaut player would. Like, yeah, those Jugs usually go phased, but then they have no attack speed to make their Omni Slash better.
Effectively, he's getting more out of these items than he would a Battle Fury in terms of farming and in terms of fighting.
I would rather him have a, like the Sanjin Yasha, maybe you could say Battle Fury instead of Sanjin Yasha, but he's got so much mobility right now. Really strong.
Pico getting orcated up. The Slithering Crush just misses. They don't need it. Shadow Strike and right click of the Queen of Pain, who has a double damage rune, is more than enough. It's going to be the EMP dropped on the deck, and Chibi's actually just going to get his face blown in. The Aegis will go, and 40R is ready to go again. Chibi will blink out, actually. This 2-3 tower in trouble. Void will go. No silence necessary at this point. Unstable Concoction still down. He's going to pop it off now, ready for 4 seconds. He's going to get orcated. It's going to stun himself if he's not careful. And they'll surge him back just to make sure that he doesn't get stunned in the line of fire. Pepita and C14 nearby. Tivo going to get voided up as well. And Demon, all the meanwhile, is just like, I will take your melee racks. No problem. Chibi's now the one right-clicking. Demon still has a Omni Slash at the ready. Zebra's going to come in. Another EMP. They'll have to actually get away. Zebra will get stunned up as well as lose most of his mana. Now the Winter's Curse going, but good Sorp still keeping him alive. Now the jump in Sonic Wave. Chibi looking for more. The Omni Slash hits up onto Pepita. He's already dead. He just went to the cribs afterwards. And now they'll go for the racks. They'll take the melee. Demon will back up. He's got the Blade Fury. Here comes the Tornado. Demon, Blade Fury is just in time. He'll TP away as well. Unstable Concoction. Not going to get off. And 40R cannot continue to chase. Leviathan only lose the Aegis for that bottom racks. It was a good hold for paiN, but they have to buy back on Pepita, and he's even more poor. He has nothing.
That's not even a hold, man. They lost their melee barracks. That's not a good fight for them. Leviathan completely went in there. They did exactly what they wanted. They got enough buildings. They got a buyback out of it as well. Yeah, maybe they defend their range barracks, but to be honest, at this stage of a game, 20 minutes of range barracks means nothing. As soon as you leave your base, that thing's going to die. Leviathan will get the rest of the gold, and the wave will continue to push almost as strong.
I just don't know what they can do anymore.
It's very tough. Like, they had no opportunity to gank. Like, you need an ability to gank to come back in a game that you're losing. Because you have to punish those single solo lanes. But Leviathan knew, they can't gank us. Just everybody go to your own lane, push it solo, and then we'll see if they get scared of us roaming.
Yeah. That was pretty much the case. And now there's an active subject for Chibi and a Desolator for the Omni, or for the Juggernaut, rather. So, armor reductions even further increase.
And Zebra went for a Vlad's first, which I actually really like this game.
Yeah, I was about
normally
to say.
It's always Ags, but the Vlad's just gives them a lot of coverage. 5 armor is going to offset whatever the Acid Spray does. They're all going to lifesteal. They're all going to hit 15% harder. That damage bonus for Jug is actually be huge since he bought so many stat items. He's getting more value out of that damage bonus.
And it's not like they really need the vision for an Aghanim Scepter Night Stalker anyways, right? They'll find 40R, they'll jump in, the Slithering Crush will go, the amp damage will fly. Good Tornado EMP, actually, and the Grave comes out too. Demon will not lose his mana because of the usage of the Blade Fury. Zebra will get set up with the Unstable Concoction, vacuum into the wall, but it's just him. That's a back wall for pretty much nothing. I think Leviathan, if they want to play safe here, they just wait for that wall to fall. And they go for the tier 2 tower and push high ground because there's no reason otherwise. But
the
they'll
Omni.
go for the Omni and instead kill 2 heroes immediately and find the third with a triple kill for Demon. It's a screw plank safely. Damn the torpedoes. Let's go. Let's take the tier 2. Let's take the fight at the tier 3.
And he built a Desolator next. Interesting choice. Stacks very well with the Vlads, obviously. And just makes his Omni Slash do way more damage. Helps him basically directly counter the Alchemist. I maybe could argue that this should be an MKB instead, but at the very least, he's just going to shred buildings and heroes with this.
Yep. They're going to get the tier 2 rather quickly if they want to, but might go top instead. Bottom, they can finish off that range racks, but it looks as if they are going to go ahead and take this tier 2 in the mid lane. His total KDA tonight is now 15-0-14. Sadly, we will not see another Leviathan game after this one. The last of the evening, and we'll have paiN versus T-Show afterward. But the game's not over yet. paiN Gaming, if they could somehow miraculously get this Alchemist to be 6-slotted or something, Alex can carry the game. I mean, for God's sake, we saw what happened when Loda played Alct over at the Frankfurt Major Qualifiers, which
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was fortunate enough to cast that game, which was a lot of fun.
But for now, he doesn't even feel safe leaving the base. Like, it's very scary for him. His damage is also very low. It's basically acid spray right clicks. I think what he's doing is waiting for Chemical Rage in a lot of cases as well. And now he's got a Plate Mail, Solar Crest, Gloves of Haste. I don't know.
It's like trying to build 2 different things, I feel like.
Maelstrom.
It's like, I want an
AC,
Maelstrom,
Armlet
but I
AC.
also want an AC. I don't know what to build.
I think an Armlet is okay here. I would like an Armlet.
Armlet
But it's
AC?
it's so late though. Like if
Yeah.
you wanted to build an Armlet, you should have built it earlier.
Is it I mean, because it's an Elk, is it enough because the amount of regen he has? Or, I don't know, just the tankiness that he's got with his... you get the Plate Mail, you pick up the Armlet, and now you have enough armor. The problem is there's your amp damage, and then there's Desolator, so it doesn't even really matter
Yeah,
if you have
I
the
mean-
Plate Mail. Oh, Tabo getting caught out. Looks like he is in some trouble. The Orchid will go after instead runs away. I think he actually got a Surge off, but died anyways. And Zebra will find the kill.
Yeah, Armlet's like a hybrid HP, attack speed, damage, armor item. Does a little bit of everything, but mostly for strength here it just does damage, 60 damage. So it's just a good item to have early game for Alchemist. unless
If
you're
he
against
walks
an
up to right-click people, though, he's probably going to die. I mean, he has no way to stop getting sunned up. Tombstone's going to go. They'll body block him. Great play. Blinking, so they're in Crush, but there's the EMP. Still Chemical Raging up and regenning just fine. Now they jump in Orchid. There's the Omni Slash. It actually only hits onto the Winter Wyvern, and they can't chase any further. Well, they could, but will they? They're going to go bottom instead. They'll find out C14 who graved himself and is going to die momentarily. And it's going to be Shibby getting the kill with the Shadow Strike. And they'll now focus down the Tier 2 tower, which they should have gotten last time when they were here, but either way, it's fine.
Yeah, what a disappointing Omni Slash jump. Like, I thought it would get 2 heroes there, but it just stopped on the first
Yeah, just
step,
I don't
so
know why it's like the Winter Wyvern was like here and the Alk's here and it stops.
That's a little bit too far.
Just a little bit. Wow, real mature. Jumping Shibby, 40R gonna get Orchid in. He'll back up. There's the cold snap on, I think, on Danushin. Might have been a Zebra. Good back wall, but it's just not enough at this point. The damage is really not there. They'll soul rip up Danushin. He's actually low in mana, so they might want to back up. All the meanwhile, Demon's like, I will take your range racks bottom. I'll Blade Fury away and see you guys later. Get 3.7k gold I have to spend. Back at home, down Rodeo. I'm sure it was either Purge or Trent, because it definitely wasn't me. More
I
likely.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Kevin. Alright, bud.
Besides, it's not painting. That's drawing. I definitely didn't paint that.
Yeah, you German. How dare you?
Alright, so they're going to back off with that advantage. They never got a Rax out of it, but they continue the pressure. There's still only 1 kill on paiN Gaming side, and during these downtimes, they'll just try to grab as much as they can. I don't like their sitting around as 5. I would honestly prefer... I guess they have some wombo combo, obviously. But this is what I think they should do. Pop the smoke and go start a fight and try to get a hero. I would even use their ultimates for this. Winter's Curse, stuff like that. They have to. They just don't have a lot of other solutions.
Oh boy, Roche is dead.
They'll spot Undying. He's outside. Flying Zebra as
I mean,
well.
it's just too late. They could go for Winter's Curse. It's actually, right now, would be the perfect Winter's Curse. No, he doesn't go for it. Pico. Had such a good Tusk game last game. Omni's not the other side. 40R, ooh, gets backed up and Grave just in time. But Chibi's already killed Pico on the other side of the fight. And they've used pretty much all of their abilities in this team fight. C4T will TP away. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh, the crit brought him to about 25 HP. The Void finished him off and stopped the TP.
He just died.
He really did. That's a Dazzle level 7 with no strength items or stat items.
Radiant's middle tower is under
That'll
All
do
right.
that to you.
Now they're hitting high ground.
I mean, this is it at this point. They do have their heroes back up in 5. They'll go for one last stand. The EMP will fly. Unstable Concoction will stun up onto 2, but Demon's still Blade Furying away the range practice, and now will move his way over to the melee racks. They pick up a Blink Dagger for the Night Stalker. Not like they really needed that, but whatever. Look at the Guardian Greaves. They'll use the mech first, the Guardian Greaves right after. They'll head towards that top lane and try to finish up the last set of racks and make it so Leviathan are in the driver's seat here for the playoff race towards Group B. Get to the Dota 2 Canada Cup Grand Finals. We'll see how that turns out. But meanwhile, Maelstrom has been picked up for the Alk, so it is the Maelstrom as well as the Plate Mail instead of the Armlet.
I don't know if that is the solution. I don't know if there is a solution here for paiN Gaming. They're so far behind now. They smoked, but then they got cold feet. They didn't go for it.
Ha.
Just too hard for them to fight.
Oh,
Okay, he did do
boy.
it. All right. You know, that's not
That
too
is a
surprising.
rapier.
He's always been a player that has a little bit of willingness to do something crazy like that, but even if he feeds this rapier, I feel like he could honestly give this rapier to the enemy team, and they would still very, very easily win this game.
Probably, but still, when did the Leviathan throw last? That site made in
Hopefully not
honor
today.
of Jimmy Demon O, pretty much. That was pretty much. Well, maybe not. It was mostly Bambo, I think. Also was.
It was
big
both
part
of them,
that.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Bambo and Demon, pretty much. But still, a big part of the throwing of EG way back in the day. He's known to do some crazy things, and that certainly is one of them. The Crop will pick up the AC, which is a bit of a normal item. So I'm glad that they've got, you know, at least something like, okay, well, you can pick up the Rapier, but as long as we have good items on the rest of our heroes, it's fine. They're winning in net worth. They're pretty much ahead of everybody except for the Alchemist. And that's a 30,000 net worth lead and a almost 30,000 experience lead. They're going to smoke through the enemy base. And they're more than likely going to find either 4DR or if Pepito or C4T walks up, one of those heroes. But they're actually just going to sit at this bottom lane. If they walk towards this Tier 4 tower, they'll be revealed. Well, they'll be revealed by walking into the enemy team, but...
I wonder if they shouldn't use the Night Stalker ulti.
Oh, they're going to blink in. Good crush into 2. Sonic Wave. Table's already's dead, but he's actually going to get the Grave off just in time. Blade Fury will go 4DR. Vacuum goes. Walls up as well. 4DR. Just getting owned by this Omni slash and right click, and he'll get the kill. And that is GG. 4 dead across the board. They said that's enough punishment for one day. They'll lose all 5 heroes, and Leviathan will end their run in Group B, sitting at 2-1.
That Juggo's critting for 8,000 damage. Very common Rapier heroes. Beastmaster, Weaver, Tinker, Brewmaster, totally makes sense.
Wow.
He didn't die tonight. He didn't die once tonight. Demon played really good. Like, I feel like Leviathan owes him like $20 after this game, or at least like a free meal.
If they make playoffs and they get like top 3, they owe him more than $20, I think. With that said, that's going to be it for this game. We'll have a post-game show coming up just in a second, guys. Team Leviathan will take the game 2-1. paiN now sitting at 1-1. paiN will have to win against T-Show to force a 3-way tie break, which we've saw before, or almost saw before, with FDL in Group A. But T-Show, they could come out up against paiN and beat them. We'll have to wait and see. That being said, guys, make sure you stick around here. We're going to take a quick commercial break here on moonducktv. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at moonducktv and twitch.tv/moonducktv. We'll be back in just a second.